Okay, this is a reading for Mark Lonnie Edwards, born on the 3rd of May 1989 at 11:31 a.m. This is your human design reading. Your location of birth is up in Marlborough, Maryland. Your human design function creation date was dated back to the 4th of February 1989 at 12:24 a.m. is when your soul was created. Your archetype type is a projector. One of your themes is an orchestrator. Your strategy is wait for recognition and invitation. Your inner authority is orchestrated, self projected. You have a split definition. You need people to bridge certain gaps in certain centers in order for you to become a whole. There's nothing wrong with split definition. You're perfectly fine just the way you are. Your profile is a 6-3. 6 on the conscious side, 3 on the unconscious side. On the 6 side, we have the role model. On the unconscious side, we have the martyr. So the role of the 6 is the adept, the leader, initiator, someone that goes through life experiences and comes back and teaches them. And 3, the martyr, the explorer, someone that helps and of course bridges certain gaps and centers for other people at the cost of themselves. Um, what I have learned in human design is wherever the energies are situated over here in regards to the sixes, threes, and so forth. These are all line numbers, and these are gates. Your planets will be sitting in specific lines and gates. We'll get more into that also. Your emotional theme is bitterness. To avoid bitterness, you need to be invited on task situations. People need to come to you about specific things and so forth. You can also ask for invitations also to see where you stand with specific people, and you can also go from there. You have channels 61 and 24 open, cosmic perspective awareness, channels 20 and 10 open, self assurance awakening, and channels 1 through 8, self fulfillment, inspiration connected. Let's start off with 6124, 6124, 6124. So 6124, here's your first connection. 61 is an unconscious connection all the way down. 24 is a half conscious connection all the way to 12th in the midpoint. Um, gates 20 and 10, and then 1 and 8, 20 and 10. 20 and 10. Gates 20 is here, but connects over to gate 10. This is a form of intuitive gate also. Intuition lies in gate 57 and gate 34, but because this is the gate of self assurance and awakening, you're forced to connect to the self of identity by using your own self of identity to become aware of your surroundings and so forth. So you gotta love your messages here. This is the third chakra. This is the identity center. This is the third eye or the Ajna center, and this is the crown chakra. These are your only centers that are currently lit up, or should I say, um, activated within your human design chart. With these areas currently activated, there's a lot of pressure from the outside world for information. For example, you having 61 channel open or gate 61 open, there's a lot of inside messages that comes to you, and you have to give that information back. So if you had an undefined center, which your centers are all defined, if you had an undefined center like an undefined spleen, you'll be able to tap into people's energy and tell if someone is sick or needs help or so forth. With the defined spleen, it amplifies your intuition. So, give or take, you have one channel open in the spleen, which is channel 44. With the spleen itself, the spleen is the oldest intuitive vessel, and because it actually has one channel there, but the strongest one is 57, channel 44 here, which we'll talk about in a second. You still tap into that spleen energy, but again, when other people meet up with you that have a defined spleen, this area is activated. You bridge certain centers and certain gaps for those who have defined certain areas, other different areas. For example, for someone who has gate 57 open, and you sit with them, meditate with them, and connect certain dots, or during certain transits, you'll be able to tap fully into that full intuitive power, which is currently happening right now as we speak. Uh, Gates 1 through 8 is also connected here. Um, Gate 1 is one of my favorite gates, actually. Let's get into some more information about your particular reading and your makeup, and let's see how we can better serve you with this particular placement. All right, human design. I will be reverting back to my original app from my phone, so it will be mainly just reading and interpretations. I will be talking about the conscious side, which is over here. This darker side is the conscious side. This is your conscious efforts and your conscious actions. These are your unconscious hardwiring and your conscious actions. We'll talk about those also, of how they affect you. All right. So we have a projector. You are a projector. As a projector recommends, your aura projects outward. So a lot of information comes from within. You are a self-projected authority. This is a rare archetype. This energy can do whatever it chooses to. Best advice for this energy is to do as much goodness as possible. You are here to be a teacher and a role model for a lot of people. You have a lot of voice for a lot of people who don't have a voice. We're going to get a lot deeper into that. We're going to talk about the places in life where you get projected at the most, also, especially things that have the five line, like your Jupiter gets projected at, or people see the bigger part of your Jupiter and they don't see your Jupiter. And your Mars also gets projected at, also. So we'll talk about that in a second. That's on the conscious aspects, too. Okay, so let's talk about the very first one, gate 61 and 24. So, a defined head center is a source of inspiration, mental pressure, or anxiety. This is one of two pressure centers. The other one is the root, which is this, which is not defined, it is undefined. The defined head center is always under pressure to think. It has the ability to be inspirational. This center is not designed to do anything. All thoughts, inspiration, and ideas coming from it are for the benefit of other people. Your thoughts are for the benefit of other people and not for you. Yes, you can live a life, you can sustain and create and do whatever you wish, but all these thoughts that come for you or not for you, they're for other people. So it's community based. Your energy is community based. People with defined heads should listen to other defined centers and understand that they shouldn't analyze their own life, they should just live it. You have activated gate 61 unconsciously, inner truth. Gate of inner truth, being able to know the universal, influencing others, achieving through balance, firmness, and flexibility. In gate 61 on the conscious aspects, you have nothing in gate 61 on the conscious. On the unconscious, you have Mercury. Mercury. So your mind, your thought processing mind, which is Mercury, if I'm not mistaken, Taurus, could be Taurus. Um, Gate of inner truth, being able to know the universal, influencing others, achieve through balancing achieving through balancing firmness and flexibility. That's where your Mercury sits, and it's at the role model stage. So your mind is going through those three stages in life, making mistakes, learning from mistakes, and teaching about the mistakes. So yeah, Mercury sitting in your higher mind in gate 61 unconsciously. Gate The third eye chakra, which is has gate 24 open, is defined. The Ajna center is the center of analytical thinking. It measures and categorizes, it divides and conquers. A defined Ajna center has a consistent and reliable way in which it processes the information. It feels certain of its opinions, concepts, and theories, and can influence how other people think. Similarly to the head center, it is not designed to do anything. All analysis is for the benefit of other people. Life is not to be analyzed, it should just be lived. And you have gate 24, the turning point, gate of rationalization, true knowledge achieved through rationalization. Rationalization. Gate 24, we have anything on the conscious side? Yes, it has a conscious connection. 24, 24, 24, 24. That's the sun. Your sun is sitting in your third eye in gate 24. That's Taurus. Taurus sun is sitting in the role model. So the turning point, gate of rationalization. True knowledge achieved through rationalization. You may have to do your own personal research on what that word means for you to break down the proper interpretation for that. On the unconscious aspect, is anything else in 24? Yes, you also do have Mars. You have Mars. Your Cancer Mars is sitting in gate 24. The Hermit sitting behind the scenes, analyzing, scoping, gaining inner knowledge and wisdom. Okay? This is the Earth plane. Earth plane's at a 6 is sitting in gate 44. Gate 44 is this plane. And because you have an undefined spleen, let's talk about it. You have an undefined spleen. The spleen is associated with the immune system and spontaneous intuition. It is our oldest and most primal awareness. It only works in the now and is the voice of the subtle. People with undefined spleen centers may feel insecure and vulnerable. They simply take on all fears and insecurity of the world around them and amplify them. They should not be spontaneous. As you as with every undefined center, the undefined spleen can be used as a learning opportunity. Many healers can give this center undefined. Many healers have this center undefined because of that they can sense diseases in other people's bodies. Gate of 44, gate of attraction, attraction of opposites, gate of meeting together, instinct fueled by fear of extinction. So this here, that fear of extinction ignites an intuitive force for you. Same here with the gate number 10 and 20 connecting in that aspects. And this is like a bridge connection, even though it's not uh, a connecting from channel to channel because it follows the same pathway. It's a bridge. So this is a connection. This is a connection. Oops. This is a connection, and this is a connection. And the rest of the lower trigram has you, or the rest of the body graph has you completely open. So hence why you are a projector from this. This is a mental plane projector. Okay. Gate 44, we have in the earth plane that role model sitting here learning from the life lessons, gate of meeting together, instinct fueled by fear of extinction. This is something that's ongoing for you constantly. Constantly. And on the unconscious aspect, we have martyr in gate 7. Gate 7 is here. That's in the identity center. Let's take a look at that. The identity center, which is defined, this identity center is about love and self. People with defined identity center have a consistent and reliable sense of who they are. Their identity is or how they know themselves doesn't change depending on the people around them. They can also experience love in a consistent way. Gate number 7, which is an unconscious connection, bridging halfway towards the throat chakra, which has not opened to grade 31. Gate of discipline, we have the earth plane here. So the earth plane has you disciplined, but it still has you on a projection of martyrism. So again, you should be doing a lot of things that you should be giving back to community, like a lot of community-based stuff. Gate of the leadership and order, being able to provide logical direction to people. When the right time comes, the leader is recognized. So yeah, a lot of people will come to you for insight. Strange people, homeless people, mental people, people that just need help. They will come to you because this is your earth plane. You can direct them to grounding. So your north node is also on the projection of martyrism, like on the conscious aspects. South node 2, gates 59 and 53. Gates 59 is in the sacral chakra. Sacral chakra is undefined. Sacral chakra is undefined. So the sacral chakra undefined. The sacral is the most important centers. When defined, it is a source of life-sustaining and creative energy. It is one of the four motor centers. People with undefined sacral centers do not have sustainable energy to work. They are always defined by the energy of the people around them. In relationships, they are defined by their partner's energy. People with undefined sacral centers should learn that they are not here to work hard and they should give themselves enough time to rest and sleep. Gate 59, consciously and unconsciously open, gate of intimacy. That is your south node, that's your area of comfort. Gate of intimacy, being able to be intimate with people on a one-on-one level in both personal and business relationships. That's your south node. On the conscious aspect leads to martyrism, or that's a martyr projection. You like to explore that. This is an exploring phase. You like to explore that. That's your south node. On the unconscious aspect, same energy. Gate of intimacy, the role model. It's a lot of trial and error happening. Gate of intimacy here for you. That's your south node. Anything else in 59? That's no, that's it. Just your south node and your south node. Okay. Okay, so going down the line, we have the moon, martyr, gate 51. Gate 51 is here in the heart center, the ego. The moon on the conscious aspects is in gate 51. The heart center is about willpower, ego, and courage. This is one of the four martyr centers. It is related to material survival. It can be possessive and ensure the survival of the family and the tribe. It has nothing to do with love. People with the undefined heart center should be careful when making promises because they don't have reliable energy to deliver on them. Making promises from the mind puts pressure on the body and may be unhealthy. Gate 51, your moon is sitting there, and that's the martyr moon, the helper pleaser. They're arousing, gate of arousing, being able to stay centered and alert and act appropriately to all that confronts you. Ashe, that's good. Gate 51, that's a conscious bridge, but it's not connected, it's a halfway bridge. So anyone that comes in between will help open that bridge as long as you have gate 25 open or a defined heart. Okay, moving along. On the unconscious aspect of the moon is gate 38. Unconsciously, gate 38 is in the root chakra, undefined. The root center is about physical pressure and is one of the four motor centers. It is also one of the two pressure centers along with the head. People with the undefined root centers get all the pressure from the people around them and then amplify it. They end up working really fast to realize the pressure only to realize the pressure is that was repeated twice, literally in the thinking. Only for them to realize the pressure is still there when they're done. The wisdom of the undefined root center is to understand that the pressure is coming from the outside, and you should be used wisely, and this should be used wisely. Athletes often have an undefined root center, and you have gate 38, which is where your moon is sitting with that role model energy. Gate of opposition and misunderstandings, essential energy for fight or struggle. This is where a lot of your conflict is in your root chakra, right here. And then your moon is sitting there, unconsciously. There's a lot of misunderstandings here with the root. Remember, the root is your final stability. Gate 54 is your marriage. You don't have that open. Gate of misunderstanding and openness are your emotions. So, hey, anger. Tap into that. Understand that. Learn from that. That's both a conscious and unconscious halfway connection leading towards this plane. We have the opportunist in your Mercury, gate 20. Gate 20 is that conscious connection leading from the throat chakra. Let's talk about it. The throat chakra, the throat governs communication. This energy must go through it to become reality. The center expresses the energy of the centers, which is to connect to two. People with defined throat can share who they are via the center, depending on the connected center. The energy can be expressed mentally, emotionally, spontaneously, etc. And we have gate number 20. Gate number 20 is the gate of completion, the practice of deep contemplation through action in the now. The practice of deep contemplation through action in the now. So that's where your Mercury is sitting. So connections, being able to connect and network with people, looking for opportunities, acting right now to see where you can put yourself and discern certain things and get certain ideas and propel forward unconsciously. Role model, gate 61. We already covered that. That's sitting in the third eye. Sorry, the crown chakra. My apologies. We have Venus, a hermit. Relationship is blind, I see. She doesn't like to be shown. 23, gate 23. Haha, it's in the throat chakra. Splitting apart. Gate of individual and unique insight, expression to the collective. Good communication skills are essential for rejection of others. It's a hermit. So your Venus is sitting in the place of, you know, it's in the throat chakra, but it's in a gate called splitting apart, the gate of individual and unique insight, expression to the collective. Good communication skills are essential, or rejection occurs. Yay, communication skills. Got to tap into that. You're behind the scenes. The hermit is behind the scenes. It doesn't like to be seen. It likes to just stay behind the scenes. So if your love language consciously is behind the scenes, sitting here to get us splitting apart. Hey, on the unconscious realm is a 5, so it's a projection field. So people see what they don't want to see in gate number 60. This is the root chakra. Let's go back to the root for a second. In the root, we have root is undefined, so we have gate 60, limitation, gate of self-restraint, being able to achieve progress by self-restraint and accepting limitation. Even when things fail, you can always pull through. Even when all things fail, you can always pull through unconsciously. That's where your Venus sits, and it's a 5 field. It's a field of heresy. So a lot of knowledge is here, a lot of wisdom is here, a lot of understanding is here. So I don't need to express or break that part down for you. Mars on the conscious field is projected at, and that's in gate number 15. Gate 15 is sitting in the identity center. Gate 15. Modesty, being humble and centered between extremes, and that's a conscious connection. That's a good placement for Mars to be also, and that's a projection field. So a lot of people don't necessarily see it, but as long as you exercise it, that's good. On the unconscious field, Mars is sitting in gate number 24. 24, which is up here also. We already spoke about this and what that gate represents, so we don't have to go back over through that. On the Jupiter aspects, we have Jupiter in gate 16. Jupiter in gate 16. Gate 16 is in the throat chakra. Throat chakra, gate 16, which is defined enthusiasm, gate of self-expression, success and skills. Developing talent through repetition. Be careful and well disciplined. So Jupiter is here. 16. 5. Projection field. Remember, Jupiter is all about big expansion. You already are a projector. And this is the line of heresy. When this comes into play, you are supposed to step in the managerial position or have a lot of powerful insight. For you in this particular situation, enthusiasm, gate of self-expression, Jupiter is here. Big on the self-expression. Big on the self-expression. Success and skills. Okay? Developing talent through repetition. Be careful and well disciplined. If you feel like you go over the top, this is it. This is it. Jupiter is here. That's the over the top energy. Martyr, a projection or martyr line, 3 line in gate number 8. That is an unconscious connection. Gate number 8 is also the throat. Holding together, the gate of fellowship, contribution to the collective, leading by example. Yep, lead by example. We're watching. We're all watching. That's Jupiter right there. And it's a powerful unconscious connection going all the way to gate number 1. Full connection. And we have Saturn. Saturn is a heretic line, gate 38. Gate 38 is here. We already covered that aspect also. And what that represents on the unconscious aspect, gate 58. I don't think we touched 58, but let's do it. Root chakra, gate number 58. Gate of the joyous, Saturn. Happiness coming from within, not from others. Sentiment and emotion should be balanced. Conscious and unconscious connection leading towards the spleen, but it's a halfway connection. And that Saturn runs in 30. Who else is in 58? So unconsciously is Saturn. Who else is in 58? Uranus also behind the scenes. So let's see. Uranus, unexpected changes. Gate of joyous, consciously. Within the joyousness, happiness coming from within, not from others. Sentiment and emotion should be balanced. When things get turbulent and rocky, retreat to yourself, find yourself your happiness, center yourself, go within, hermit, go within, literally go within. Because a lot of things can make you unstable. Go within, find yourself, center yourself, and bring out that happiness again. And then we have Neptune. And Neptune is in a martyr position, or the three line in gate 38. Same energy also. It's a conscious energy. So Neptune sitting here, gate 38, gate of opposition, gate of misunderstandings. There's a lot of blurriness. You're not really seeing the bigger picture sometimes, or people are not seeing the bigger picture with you. But this is three, so this is personal. You're not seeing the bigger picture sometimes. You know, this is Neptune, gate of opposition and misunderstanding, essential for the fight or struggle. Blurriness, haziness on the conscious aspects. On the unconscious aspects, same energy. Hermit, hermit, gate 38, the hermit. Unconsciously, you like to not necessarily escape, but this is the root. So yes, you can end up escaping a lot, especially when some weird spiritual things tend to happen. You can tap out. You get to tap out. Hermit. You don't want to be seen here. You don't want to dream about it. Hmm. Pluto, one, gate one, power transformation in the identity center in gate number one. One and one. Martyr also in one. The unconscious is a full connection all the way to the top. The unconscious is a halfway connection. Sorry, the unconscious is a full connection all the way to the top. The conscious is a half connection coming down to the bottom from gate number one. And Pluto sitting in gate number one, which is the creative, great gate of individual expression and identity. Be initiative, progressive, supportive, and persistent to build your strong foundation. Pluto sits there, so you get that Phoenix and Scorpio energy right there. A nice, beautiful, powerful push and transformation, especially when you're becoming creative. So as you continue to be creative with that one energy, you're gonna keep investigating, because that's what Pluto does. So Pluto strengthens your investigative tactics and strength and get number one to be more creative. So you're gonna keep diving. You're gonna keep, I don't want to say comparing, but yeah, I guess because that's investigation. You're gonna do whatever it takes to make sure that you become more creative. So you're gonna be doing a lot of investigation, and it's happening in your house of creativity or in your channel or gate of creativity. Martyr is also there again for the people. So whatever creative cause this is to transcend and connect for the people. And then Chiron, wounded healer, gate 15, 15. Ooh, identity center. Chiron, the wounded healer, is sitting in 15. Modesty, gate of modesty, being humble and sensitive between extremes. Something happened here. Consciously, role model. That right here, in the modesty situation, you gotta learn the three stages of how to learn from the mistakes, acknowledge the mistakes in the first half. You're already past that. Second half, which is what you're going through right now, and when you get to 50 is the third half. So right now on the 15 Chiron, you're going through them three stages, learning from the mistakes. You can actually come back and teach from the mistakes to people who have been hurt in that aspect. So yeah, great teacher, great teacher, bro. Four line 15, same energy also. Opportunist, friends. You got hurt by friends. Tapped your modesty. You got hurt by the people that were close to you, your connections, your the people that were close, the modest people. Role model. It's a hell of a lesson too. Hell of a lesson. But in the end, you're gonna rise above it. Okay. So let's get some more information. Let's go deeper. You are a projector. The theme for you is success. Your not theme is bitterness. You have to wait for invitations. People need to basically ask you to come on board to jump on certain projects, and that will make your energy more fulfilled in the end. You're actually operating in your correct accordance. If you start to issue like advice to people who are not acceptive, you're hit with resistance, and it turns you bitter. You do not want bitterness in your life, because bitterness tears down your energetic makeup or your auric field. So You are a natural guide, organizer, and leader. You are here to be recognized for who you are and help guide the other energy types to the most efficient way. As people around you are buzzing with energy and ideas, you're able to understand them better when they understand themselves. You have a deep and penetrating aura, which allows you to hone in and ask deep and insightful questions. Since you don't have your own energy, you need other people to feel successful. The goal is to find people who recognize your gifts and welcome them. You probably try to force your opinions and advice on others since you see things they don't. If you do that, you typically will feel backlash and then end up bitter. I didn't say that. This said it. That doesn't mean that you have to wait for others to invite you all the time. You can ask for an invitation. For example, I have a better idea, or how do you think about this? Or would you like me to share it? Follow your authority, and if you feel the opportunity is good for you, you offer your guiding gifts. If someone says, well, this is my 2 cents. If someone says no, 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 thank you, do not feel any type of way. Do not feel like someone's shutting down your projection field. Do not feel like someone's not willing to take your advice. They're on a different frequency, they're dealing with another situation, or they're just not open to taking anyone's advice to change certain things about their projects, their character, or other fundamentals about them. Take that as a tool because eventually said person may come back to you and ask you, "Hey, remember what you were saying like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago?" You get reignited. So don't, please, I'm begging you, don't get bitter. Do not get bitter. If someone turns down your offer because you wanted to help and suggest certain things, it's okay. They may come back again tomorrow, but guess what? The price ain't gotta remain the same, right? So yeah, it says you are running on other people's energy. Notice that the energy you feel is the energy of the people around you and not yours. You have to allow yourself time and space to relax and disengage. Go to bed an hour earlier than you normally would when you think you will fall asleep. You have a self projected authority. This is a very rare authority, as all centers below the identity center must be open. People with this authority are projectors and don't have any motors defined. This is a self directing authority where the self is expressing itself. Listen to yourself speaking out loud as you are making decisions. Have a few friends to speak to or a voice recorder. 6-3 role model martyr. At the conscious level, a role model, a living example of what it means to be human. At the unconscious level, learning what works through mistakes. Um, you will challenge authority and establishments which don't work. You will challenge authority and establishments which don't work. The sixth line is special in the sense that is different from all the other lines. This is the line of the role model. It looks over everybody else and wants to understand how it works and where it is going. You go through 3 stages in life from birth until age 28, then from 28 to 50, and then from 50 onwards. During the first phase, you live the third line, which is the 3 line, which is the martyr, experimenting and making mistakes. Because you have that on the unconscious aspects, you're constantly living that 3 life behind the scenes. So you have to figure out how to balance out you. Because on the role model, you should have already lived the 3 life in the first half. But because you have it on the unconscious side, you're constantly living that 3 line behind the scenes, which is explorative. But you know, there's a major lesson here, and that starts with yourself. Um, when you're about 28, you begin to withdraw. You become aloof to your relationships and your jobs. This is a healing period, and it's also a very productive one. You usually find what jobs are good for you, and when you're in that phase, as you are aloof, you can also help others. The way you stay aloof is by constantly reminding yourself that nothing works. After 50, you must re engage in the world and become a role model. You become the example of what it means to be a human and show what works in the world. Third line people are experimental in nature. You are bound to make mistakes, bump into the wrong people, and get stuck in the wrong situations. You learn from your mistakes. You constantly ask yourself, did what how did that affect me? Thus internalizing the results. You can't rely on someone else's experience to understand something. You must try to know it. Words are not enough for you due to your inwards focus. You can't just watch someone else do it, but need to experience it so that you know it and live it. You have a split definition, at least four centers are defined in two unconnected groups. You usually looked for other people to bridge the gap. The gap itself may be as small as a single gate or much larger as two centers. Internally, this feels like two separate entities operating independently. Communication is slower, so please slow down your speech. There's no rushing. Barack Obama is a great person of inspiration that you can learn from because he also was a projector. Also, the slower your speech, the more languages you know, the better your projection feel, the more things you teach yourself, the better of assistance you are to other people. Um, when another person shows up with a bridge the gap, you feel complete. The wisdom of split definitions is to understand that you are all right as a split and nothing needs to be fixed. Your channels are 6124 awareness, perpetual individual thinking, which influences others. Gates 8 and 1 inspiration, individual verbally expressed creativity, which must be first recognized. 20 and 10, the awakening, messages of love or message of love, and enlightenment shared with others when invited. Other information, you have a left angle cross of incarnation. You are here to provide guidance to all that comes across your way. Your energy recognizes the pattern of reincarnation. Thus, you are able to give direction for where things are going without even processing it on a conscious level. Your life path number is 8. Your Saturn return was January 22nd, 2019. Your Uranus opposition is August 23rd, 2033. And your Chiron return is September 18th, 2038. Your digestion is over to the left. You function best when there's a structure around you, around your daily routine, so that you may actively dissect life and look at it in a logical way. Schedules, calendars, and all kinds of planners work really well for you. Similarly, since you have an active digestion, ideally you should have your meals at the same time every day, following a specific way of eating. Fasting is not preferable for you. Appetite is consecutive. Eating one food at a time is key. Indulge yourself in only one thing at each step. Think simple and take it slow. Your body will thank you. Similarly, when processing information, focus on one subject at a time, giving all your attention and mastering it before you move on. Taste. Tasting some things is the way to go for you. This concept may be applied to everything in your life as you are continuously reflecting on on your palate. You may be it may be helpful if you limit your exposure to tasting one thing at a time and not be overwhelmed. You should sample only when it feels right, and breathing through the mouth can help you tune into your world. Your environment is to the left. You function best in a familiar environment which feels good to you. Having a designated place to eat, work, and sleep are important for you as you feel grounded. This also increases productivity. Travel can be challenging if you don't take time to get familiar with the new space and make it cozy and comfortable for you. Markets internal. Your environment should be active with plenty of information and energy exchange. However, it's an indoor and enclosed space which you have created to invite people. Your home, office, gallery, studio are all good examples of the above. You need to gather and exchange thoughts with people that have common goals and interests, but you'd rather do it in your own space. Your perspective is over to the right. You have a peripheral perspective. Seeing things more broadly is a natural tendency for you. Hence, it benefits you to be more general when expressing yourself, as these manifestations may surprise you in a pleasant way when becoming a reality. Adding to that, you're also a non specific manifester. Possibility and probability. You are here to see all the possibilities are all around you. You should be careful not to turn those into expectations. If you can avoid it, you can be a true spirit, bringing happiness out in life. Your distraction is the risk of being overly confident of what is going to happen and rigidly insisting on it. Be sure to carefully evaluate degree of probability versus possibility and adjust expectations as needed. Awareness is over to the left. You have a strategic awareness and logical mind. You do really well with facts, numbers, and patterns and thrive in a structured environment such as a classroom. Consequently, you are also really good at tests. As you are all about facts, you tend to see the world in black and white. And in a sense, moving from observed to observer, you need to transition from being a role model to a more passive and detached role where you strategically evaluate what works for you, be prepared to be a resource for others. And this, my friend, wraps up quite a few things. Let's talk about the rest of these numbers in these centers here. For example, I do want to come back over to the identity center because I don't think everyone got touched. Discipline, threading, companionship, modesty. Yeah, everyone got touched actually. Yeah, yeah, everyone got spoken about. Okay, cool. This one, solar plexus. The solar plexus chakra has is undefined. It's probably the most important center along with the sacral. It's a source of emotions and feelings in the body. People with an undefined solar plexus take other people's feelings and emotions and amplify them. They usually appear very emotional simply because they are riding the emotions of others. The most important thing for them is to understand that the emotions they feel are not theirs. They should only make decisions when these emotions have passed. Gate 55 is a both conscious and unconscious connection. 55 is your north node. Yep, north node, both role model and the martyr line. Gate of abundance, expressing the spirit or the spiritual feelings, freedom of the spirit to transcend the physical body. And Ashe, this concludes your not natal chart. This concludes your human design reading. I hope this finds you well. May God bless you.